answer questions on nothing alien. But now we at a point where the Congress of the United States is admitting there's extraterrestrials in the ocean, extraterrestrials sending ships to the earth. They have the bodies of aliens or extraterrestrials. They call them biologics, meaning they got a body. Then they're giving a whole disclosure in congressional hearings, and now it's like you can't evade the questions no more. You can't say, well, we need to worry about Earth now, because now whoever it is, whether they extraterrestrial, whether they extra dimensional, whether they live primarily under the water, whether they live in the earth, wherever they from, whether they from a different timeline, whether they somebody from the future that hack time travel, it's somebody here that ain't supposed to be here or that wasn't always here. And the movement of governments, we had South Korea tried to establish a martial law, but it got turned over by the people and the elected officials that could override the mandate. Then you had France fail. Now you have one of them countries in the Middle East, I think it's Syria, is falling, right? This is just the beginning. All these governments have to go for the new system to take place. And this Anunaki discussion is part of the discussion of what Christians call the return of the Christ, or what the Muslims call the coming Mahdi, what the Hindus call the return of Krishna. It's all the same thing, right? And we get these stories, but we don't know the source documents. While I was waiting to get on, somebody said something about me saying that the Old Testament was written first. I got that from Dr. Ben. When he said Dr. Ben said the Old Testament was written after the New Testament, and it wasn't no Hebrews before Christians. I'm like, where's you getting it from? So, check out what the old man tell me and go look at where he said, look. Right? He ain't the only one I heard say it. I heard a couple of pale-faced scientists saying the same thing. Right? We know religion is a single idea of military conquest using the priest as the soft cell of the military strategy. They go in first. They go in before the foot soldiers. Why would you send the priests in before you send the foot soldiers? Right? So all of this stuff, what we seeing going on, it's an inevitability that the old system fall, because entropy has become so rampant that the decay of society is obvious to even narrow-minded individuals. They could see that the society is decaying. They just don't think that we're going to ever do nothing about it. It's just going to continue to decay until we just live in raunchy on the streets, every day, people doing savage stuff to each other. That's not the case, right? It's a structure to the natural order of things. And all we trying to do is get back to natural order. And the interference, according to the written record, comes from these beings we call Anunnaki, who had a sibling rivalry gender war that was the war in heaven that landed on Earth. You on mute?
Yeah, let me ask you this question. Because I was always wondering, are the Anunnakis real, or is this just another myth? Are the Anunnakis real people?
Well, I read them as energy personally.
Okay.
Right, because anything that if I can't walk up to a dude and say, hey, my name Rod, I'm from Earth, and he like, I'm Zuzu Azu from Nibiru, I can't say for sure, because everything that we argue in most of our debates is speculative. We wasn't there. We wasn't there. We did. Ain't nobody living right now that's supposed to walk with somebody they call Jesus. We wasn't there. Any account we have is a secondhand story, even if it's the onlooker. He's second person perspective, looking at the first person reality unfold before them. So I read it all as an energy. I don't read none of it in history as these signatures belong somewhere. They got something to do.
Okay. All right. Let's welcome to the stage. Brother Gideon is in the building. Hebrew Israelite. Brother Gideon, you have a question for Brother Rod Hayes?
Yeah. First, thank you, sir. I want to give all praises to the Most High in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. Peace to the Brother Rod Hayes. How you doing, man?
Peace, brother. Peace. How you doing?
I'm good. This is just to what I've been hearing you say. There's nothing, you know, to speak into who I think you are or anything like that. So I heard you say that Dr. Ben said that the Old Testament was written after the New Testament, but I'm here to say that that's patently false, because Dr. Ben, although he claimed to be a Cometian, does also claim lineage from the Hebrew Israelites. So where did you get that from? Because like I said,
I heard it in a lecture. I heard him say it in the lecture on the history of Europe.
Okay, so if it came down to it, I could pull something on video of him saying it.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't be able to pull that back up.
I would have to go through his lectures and listen to him again to give you the exact lecture. But at the time that I was doing my research and I was listening to him, I didn't understand what he was talking about. Right? Most of the Hebrews that we see today follow the Torah, but the ones in early biblical time followed the Talmud and the Mishnah.
When you say early time, what period you talking about?
Around the time that the Bible was developed, around 200-300 Christian era.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to know that you can continue. I just be in the background, and if side let me, I can say something else.
All right. You can turn off your camera if you want to say something else. Okay. Let me ask you, my brother Rod. Is the Zechariah extension the most reliable source we can get when it comes to the Anunnaki?
The most reliable source is to use the online codex to get and use that as a translator tool and do it yourself. That's the most reliable source. But like I say, all this stuff is energies. Anything that's outside of your current reality is a signature of a historical energy. Some energies is more powerful than others, right? But we don't look at stuff like energies because we taught everything as in nouns, person, places, or things, right? But if you read it as an energy, all of the energy is going to tell you a different story than person, place, or thing tell you. It's more information in reading it as an energy than reading it as person, place, or thing noun format, which we trapped into that 3D person, place, or thing paradigm because we need something based on our reality that we can perceive as tangible, that we can like, okay, I can go put my hands on so-and-so, I know where he at. But if we don't exist no more, everything he did, he left what's called an energy signature, a trace behind him that he was here. And that's why they say you died 2 times in ancient Egypt. You died the first time when you physically died, and the last time your name is spoken. That means your energy don't exist no more. If your name stopped being spoken, your energy not here no more. As long as they speak your name in reverence and honor, it keeps your energy alive longer and longer and longer.
Okay, when we talk about the Anunnaki, is this the same, maybe talked about different when it comes to the Bible? Because the Bible also talks about giants. So is this the same thing that the Bible's talking about? They just call it, you can answer.
the Bible is an excerpt from Kemetic texts, Ethiopian texts that predate the Ethiopian Bible, and it's an excerpt from Anunnaki texts. All of these things was used to like make a soup that we call Christianity.
Mm-hmm. But
So some of all of it is in there.
Yeah, so you talking about the giants that's in the Bible. Wasn't it giants?
So they don't, in the Bible, they call the giants the Nephilim. And Nephilim mean, it's from the root word nephala, meaning to fall, in reference to them coming from somewhere other than here to earth. Then you have a group of people called Anakim or Anakites in the Bible. That's the same as the Anunnaki. They just, because the linguistic difference, the name is not pronounced exactly the same.
Correct. Right. Yes, I checked on Cube. Rod, when you told me on the last one, he's all right, brother. He's pretty good. Brother Apostle, can you pull your camera down some because it's blocking you? The words, there you go. You're good. You got a question, Apostle?
Yeah. I was going to talk about Anakin, and I knew the scriptures talks about them, but the word Anunnaki deals with explanation more so than it deals with a certain being or certain deity. It just means from heaven they came. So that's what the word Anunnaki means. From heaven they came. And they are associated, the Anunnaki are associated with reptilians from
Sirius.
Not Sirius.
And Orion.
Orion. Yep. From the Orion star system. There are two different sets. One is benevolent and the other one is somewhat malevolent.
And so you believe these were real people, Apostle?
I believe that, I believe personally, similar to what he said, there's a lot of confusion when it comes to the Most High God. What I wanted to share earlier before you left, I wanted to close. I want to tell y'all to pay attention to what's going on, being reported in Jersey and all throughout the country and all throughout the planet about UAPs that are being seen.
Hundreds. UAPs?
UAP.
That's unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's what they've been talking about.
There's something that's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, and they're going to use it. And they're going to deceive a lot of people by it. A lot of things that we call aliens. If I'm living 3,000 years ago and I happen to see a spaceship come out of the sky and a 4-foot creature come out of it, I might call that creature a demon. I might call that creature a demon, a little imp. You ever heard that before? What a demon looks like? They are imps. They are tiny, 3 to 4 feet, green. Today we call them grays.
All right, Apostle.
I'm going to shut up with this.
Okay.
If I want to learn about the Anunnaki, I would do what Sitchin did. I would go to the same sources he went to. The records that are in Sumer, the Akkadian files, the stones. That's where he got his information from. And that's what I would study. Unfortunately, Billy Carson name is like mud around here these days. The white boy done did a job on him, and everybody's talking about him.
Everybody's talking about it, man.
Everybody is talking about it.
I couldn't believe I tuned in a little bit to Sarah.
Even Yara, Yara. I mean, everybody. I'm like, y'all give Billy a break, man. The man don't know everything. He ain't apostle. Give him a break.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. If anybody want to come in, you got to turn on your camera. If you don't turn on the camera, don't bother coming in. Okay, let me move on. You can stay there, Apostle. Talk to us. How do the ancient Egyptians and the Sumerian stories about the Anunnaki relate to each other, Brother Rod? How do they relate to each other?
We talking Puerto Rican and Mexican.
Okay.
We talking two different groups of people that both have some commonalities to them. When you go to the Emerald Tablets of Tahuti, right? He said he was told by his father to take his ship, lift up from the earth, and go west and settle in the land of Kemp, right? And when you look at what's going on at the time, this is the same time that there's conflict between what they call the Earthborn and the ones they call the Igigi, right? This is what they called it, a workers' rebellion, right? So when he go over there, he say he raised up his staff and humbled the hairy barbarian of Kim and compelled them to submit to his authority, right? Now, we don't know, like, for instance, when you go to Khan Mansa Musa and his brother Abu Bakari, right? Abu Bakari came over here, he had a staff of rulership. We tend to think that he used energy when he could have just been using a rulership staff they're familiar with, right? That's just a side note. But my perception is the Kim that was set up, Egypt that was set up in what we call Egypt today, it was a duplicate of what was in Arizona long before, during the time of Atlantis. And I believe that Tahuti was sent over there to watch the Anunnaki because they was violating galactic law in their laboratories and in their experiments.
All right. Peace to you, my brother. What's happening, man? Do you have a question for the brother, Rod?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Peace, brother.
All right. Peace to you. I just happened to do a live on this not long ago on this very topic, and I think that it's necessary for your audience, Brother Sarnetta, that they get a thorough background on exactly what this whole Anunnaki thing is. It's kind of difficult because, what's happening right now with Billy Carson, and to an extent, even with Zechariah Sitchin, a lot of these guys that put this stuff out, um, they rely on a lot of the mythologies or the associated claims without any verification from an actual inscription. Um, much of, with all due respect, with much of what the young man was saying, we don't have documentation to support it. Even with the brother Apostle making references to Sumer, we don't even have, there isn't even, the word Anunnaki isn't even in a Sumerian inscription. It's not there. Anunnaki comes about during the Babylonian and Akkadian period, and to an extent, the Neo-Assyrian period. And even the name that is so popular is just wrong. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. But first of all, what the Sumerians in their literature, what the scribes wrote was, and it's just a simple term, they were of the royal family of the skies. Okay, there is no from heaven to earth, none of that stuff. You don't even have a word for earth in Sumerian. Okay, So I just want to be able to break it down, at least in the layman's terms, to where it's really understandable, so that in the future, whenever this topic comes up, we can dismiss people like Billy Carson, Zechariah Sitchin, Malachi York, or any one of these guys that are out here pushing a false narration about ancient history as it pertains to the ancient Sumerians. And one of the myths and deceptions is saying that the Anunnaki were those who came from heaven to key earth. That's not even in the grammar. That's not even the word. What we have is real simple. The first of all, the very first, could I share my screen? Is that possible?
Rod Hayes, is it cool or what? Because this is your day-to-day, brother.
I'm liking what he dropping down, so I'm with it.
Yes, go ahead, brother. You can share. Hey, you know what, brother? Can you put your number in the back and I could give you your own show? You could do your own show. I would love that.
I'm surprised that you, brother, signed that. Huh?
Why you say that?
Because you seem like you don't even know who the hell I am.
I can't really see your face. Let me see you, because you blocked. Oh.
Oh.
I got you, man. Yeah, but I still need your number, though. I forgot your number or something. Put your number in the back, brother.
Yeah,
in the chat. In the back.
Let me,
yeah,
you are watching a master at work, Chuck Morgan.
Yeah, share your screen.
I think that this is necessary, and because I did this with the Smash Rockwell show, I think that is necessary to have to pull up again. Let me hit this. Let me make my screen large so that everybody can hit it. 1, 2, 3. But please bear with me. It's just going to take me just a second.
Brother Ron Hayes, you can cut in whenever you're ready, brother. This is your show.
Oh, by all means. By all means. All right. Can you see?
Yes, I see it.
All right. Now, this is done because I'm an intermediate Sumerian language student. And this is something really basic and simple. It's not anything that's hard, rough, or complicated, because it wasn't even something that is really much in Sumerian folklore and literature. Okay, so the Anunnaki appears in post-Akkadian Sumerian literature as gods of the royal seas. Okay, Anunnaki. First of all, you don't have. Well, let me go to this. Let me go here. You'll never read. Well, first of all, right here, if you look, this first cuneiform character here is referred to as a dingir. Dingir. Okay, it is a determinative which classifies that what is to follow is either a deity name. In this case, it is a plural collective. So this would be the first word, because you do not pronounce this character here as a determinative. So the next character